Hey guys, Zan here. Today I'll be sharing about my vacation to southeastern Germany back in October 2021. In this first video, I will cover the flight to Frankfurt and the city itself. We begin our journey at the near-empty Changi Airport of 2021. As part of Singapore's strategy to gradually reopen to international travel, vaccinated travel lanes were established with a handful of countries. Germany was one of the first countries to have these travel lanes established, and so, after almost 2 years of travel restrictions, we booked the Singapore Airlines flight to Frankfurt. There was hardly anyone at the check-in counters, a far cry from the situation today. We were handed our boarding passes and swiftly passed through immigration.
So we came a bit early, so we have plenty of time to kill. Unfortunately, as you can see around us, most of the shops are closed. So we're gonna head over to the lounge.
We visited the SATS Premier Lounge using our underutilized priority pass. The lounge was nearly empty, and while drinks were self-serve, the buffet counter was closed and each guest was entitled to one entree.
We have just left the lounge and we're now headed towards our boarding gate.
Traffic was light and I estimated the plane was only half full. Our flight was on an Airbus A350 configured in 3 classes: Business, Premium Economy and Economy Class. At the door, passengers were offered bottled water, earphones and a special care kit containing some cleaning supplies. I was seated in Premium Economy Class, which was exactly half full, meaning full social distancing was possible. Premium Economy Class on Singapore Airlines is laid out in a 242 configuration. These seats have a width of 19 inches, 38 inches of pitch or the distance between headrests, and 8 inches of recline. Our flight, along with other Singapore Airlines flights to Europe, was diverted in the interest of safety due to heightened tensions in the Middle East. So instead of overflying Iran and then Turkey, we flew over Saudi Arabia and Egypt instead. However, this added 1 hour to our flying time and wasn't communicated clearly. After we took off, the crew served supper. I chose the Thai basil beef with egg and seasonal vegetables. The food was disappointing. Portions were small, and seasonal vegetables turned out to be bitter gourd, which I did not enjoy. The double chocolate ice cream dessert helped. After a few hours, we were soon arriving in Frankfurt. For breakfast, I chose a local favourite called fried carrot cake. Radish rice flour cake, stir-fried with prawns and pickled turnip. It tasted pretty authentic but was more oily than expected. Still, I enjoyed it much more than the disappointing supper. Arriving at Frankfurt Airport, we had our passport and vaccination certificates checked by immigration.
Just landed, just cleared immigration, and now we're on our way to get our bags.
Then headed to the subway station to board the train to Frankfurt Central Station, which was only 15 minutes away. The airport being located so close to the city meant that travel times were short and tickets affordable.
Train station at the airport and we're now on our way to the main central station.
Take in the skyline of Frankfurt as you cross the Main River. Exiting the train station, I was surprised by the lack of entrance or exit gantries. There is a trust-based culture that assumes people will do the right thing and buy the correct ticket for their journey. This is quite remarkable and commendable, as not many other societies can boast this level of trust. That said, there are still train conductors checking tickets, and if you get caught without a ticket, be prepared to pay a hefty fine. There was something charming about Frankfurt Central Station's steel arch trusses and high ceilings that emanate an old-world charm. We headed to our hotel, hoping they would have a room ready for us. The weather was pleasant and we walked to the hotel. So we've managed to secure an early check-in, thankfully, and we weren't charged extra either. We headed to Schillerstraße market for lunch. Schillerstraße market is a farmer's market, located on Schiller Street that opens only on Fridays. There are other markets around Frankfurt, and most open during the weekends. From fresh produce to street food, there's plenty to eat and shop as you stroll the 15 to 20 minutes to the end of this street. Now we're at Schillerstraße and we're having our first proper meal. So it's some bratwurst. For those who prefer a little more kick, try the currywurst and pair it with an apple vine. If you're a fan of Goethe or poetry, visit the Goethe House, where the poet used to live, which has now become a museum. Next we headed to Willy Brandt Platz. So we're in the heart of downtown Frankfurt, and as you can see behind me is the Euro sign. The park is surrounded by tall skyscrapers and a good spot to enjoy some fresh air after a day in the office. Nearby is the Main Tower Restaurant and Lounge, which features a panoramic view of the city from the top of the tower. However, be prepared to queue to get in. We just got off the tram and now we're headed to this cathedral. Behind me is Frankfurt Cathedral. The city of Frankfurt suffered some of the heaviest bombing during World War II. Frankfurt Cathedral was one of the casualties, and although it has been rebuilt and looks aged from the outside, the clean interiors tell a different story. Just look at the mortar lines that have been drawn in and do not match the brickwork. Next, head to the new Old Town and enjoy a coffee or dessert in one of the many cafes. Relax and soak in the environment. A little further down and you will find yourself in Römer. So we're currently in Römer, and it's this town square that has a lot of traditional buildings, and right behind me there's like an art gallery going on right now. The Eiserner Steg or Iron Footbridge is just a 5-minute walk away. The bridge offers a picturesque view of the river with Frankfurt in the background. Hang a love lock with your partner on the bridge or just simply enjoy the view. We spent the rest of the afternoon strolling through Frankfurt as we made our way to our final stop. The old Opera House. We could not enter the concert hall, but the exterior was certainly impressive. We considered dining at the restaurant Opera, but eventually settled for simpler food. We had currywurst at Cafe Throwback, not as tasty as the one we had earlier at Schillerstraße market. We then retired to the hotel early for a good night's rest. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like and subscribe to stay tuned for more travel content. You can also support my work on Patreon. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.